EnableMe-Access. Accessibility and Inclusion in Education. An interview with Garima Vyas.
I am Garima Vyas and I was a student of the Bright Day School in Vasna, CBSE unit, when my accident happened. Well, the school was very supportive, and they, when they heard that I'm in a wheelchair, in around a month or so, they made a ramp, which is, I couldn't use it myself, but my mom could easily push me up. And all my classes were arranged in such a way that everything would be on the ground floor only. There was nothing that could intrude in my wheelchair. Then I moved on to college this year only, in the Maharaja Sayajiaro University or MSU. There's a huge accessibility problem, and first of all, even if my classes are on the ground floor, which right now most of the classes are there are 3 or 4 steps in front of each building, so there is no way I can access my classroom all on my own. My mother has to be with me all the time. Then when I go inside the building, there is a wooden threshold in front of the door, which also my mom has to help me cross it because it is always very high, and the flooring is also very bad. Like the tiles, on the concrete between the tiles, it is raised up everywhere, so I can't move my wheelchair myself. The toilets in there are inaccessible and very dirty, and when I had a pressure sore some time ago, once it got infected because of my using those toilets. So it got so infected that I had to have an operation, which otherwise I would not have needed. There is a ramp behind the Faculty of Arts building, but there is a tree in front of the ramp. So if I try to climb the ramp, I always have to, my mom has to lift the wheelchair and turn it so that I can climb it. And so
it's not possible to do it on your own.
I can't climb on my own. So I would really like to request them to put a ramp that I can climb myself. I would like to have toilets that can be easily accessed by me, that can be used by me.
So in the class, can you sit with the other students?
The benches are very cramped and there is no space inside the class. I just have to sit beside the door where there is a little space. And the classrooms are huge, so most of the time when I sit inside, I can't hear the lecturer properly.
And they can't move the desks?
No, I mean they can, but there is no space only,
Right, there's too many desks.
They are ready to move
the bench.
ready a bench from the class.
Yeah,
they might move it.
Yeah.
So that support is there.
To sit at the very front, exactly at the entrance. And
so you can't see the board?
Not exactly.
Exactly.
Sometimes I can. Some classes,
not very much.
Are big enough for me to see the board, but then they are so big that I can't hear the lecturer. So I have to make a choice. Either I have to listen to the lecturer or I can see the blackboard.
And what about writing? Where will you write?
I put a pillow on my lap and I have a writing board.
So if you want to look at books and so on, how will you put them on the desk?
No desk.
No desk.
Because the students, she would request them to keep the first bench vacant.
That I can.
But the desk is not accessible.
Exactly.
So the wheelchair will not fit underneath. What is the schedule?
There are 4 classes, and they allow the car to go inside to the building, so that I can easily, at least get out of the car near the building. Then mom lifts me into the building.
Why is there lifting involved? So there are steps. So wheelchair has to go up steps because the ramp is not accessible.
Yes. No, there is no ramp.
And
no ramp.
And her core subject is on the first floor.
So how do you get to the first floor?
We climb the wheelchair with Garima on the wheelchair.
Up the steps.
We climb the whole first floor. They said there is a class under renovation. So once it is renovated, it is like 5-6 steps downward.
Same problem.
Same problem. So we'll have to get down the
5 steps.
5 steps.
The whole day you're in class. What do you do during the recess?
First of all the classes are in different buildings. All the classes. So changes me around 20 minutes.
20
but
minutes.
The breaks between the lectures are around 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
But
why does it take you 20 minutes to get from one building to another?
Because of the ramps and flooring and
get down from the floor, get in the car, go to the next building.
Okay, you have to go in a car.
Yes.
Why is that?
The campus is very big.
Faculty. Then other subjects are nearby. For one is little far.
Yeah.
The campus
The
is
roads
huge,
are not
so-
such.
Yeah. And the
Roads are not-
paths are not
roads.
proper. Yeah.
Some of the roads are still under construction.
Yeah.
So they changed it from those muddy ones
Yeah.
to the concrete ones. It takes a lot of time for me to shift the
Yeah.
classes.
Right.
During recess, I had experienced it once. I guess, yeah, the canteen is also inaccessible. I can't go in there. It's always crowded, first of all, and it has again, steps.
No ramp.
And I have to get one of my friends to go and bring me something.
So, what is the situation with accessible toilets? Are there any in any of the buildings that you study in?
No.
No.
Won't get.
No, it won't even get inside
The front door,
entire,
the door to the
Yes.
the toilet block.
Yes.
So it's not accessible. Okay, fine. So there are no accessible toilets.
Yeah,
So how many years is your course?
3 years.
How do you think you're going to
completed 6
manage?
months. I don't know. I mean, first semester I completed everything on my own at home.
Without
I
Right.
studied myself.
Yeah. The Rights for People with Disability Act 2016 gives until June 2023 for all establishments, whether private or government funded, to be made fully accessible for people with disabilities. There are some specific clauses in a section regarding education. The wrong surface on a ramp can cause terrible vibration and pain for somebody with spinal injury. Many types of barriers are unsuitable for people with disabilities. MSU management have taken note and are making a plan to rectify all these issues. In some places the ramp will be enough, but for other situations there needs to be longer term planning, which might include fitting of lifts, etc.